Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Known Classics. This is episode number 2571 and Doubleshot number 2465. Yep, we're discussing Sub-Marner and Silver Surfer. It's been a bit since I've talked about these two. Now, of course, Sub-Marner. We have one more book after this one, and then basically move into a completely different Sub-Marner series. First we have is Marvel Masterworks, The Sub-Marner, Volume 7, which collect issues 50 to 60 of the original Sub-Marner series that started back in the late 60s and concluded in the 1970s. Yeah, 11 issues here. Bill Everett is your main writer, who pretty much writes all the issues in this book except for issue 56. That's Dan Atkins. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of weird. He doesn't do the So, Bill Everett also does issue. He's a writing artist for 55, for 50, 55, 57, and 58. 56, it's basically Dan Atkins. Bill Everett does do 59 and 60. Mike Frederick co-does the arc issues 51, 52, 54, and 56. The late Steve Gerber does 58 to 60. We also have another artist credit on here, and those are the writers. The artist for issue 54 is also done by Alan Weiss. Got a lot of credit artists in here. Layouts, Sam Kowalski does issues, Kowalskin, 58 to 60. Finishers, John Taluska does 59 60 is Jim Mooney. Wow, that's a lot. So, the time period this covers is basically June of 1972 and concludes in April of 1973. 50 is noteworthy for being a historical issue because it's the debut of a character who is noteworthy for being a founding member of the Warriors. Nemertia, the daughter of Namora. Well, the clone daughter of her. Yeah, her body is discovered here and she's presumed dead. That wasn't until 2000s when basically, I think it was Jeff Parker brought her back for Agents of Atlas. And mostly put basically in these issues, we have it where Namor is dealing with Lyra, the woman who killed basically his wife, Lady Dorma. We deal with her in here. We also have some issues where Sub-Mariner goes to Japan for several issues and takes on Sunfire. And this actually is referenced in the pages of Defenders. Yep. And of course, we deal with some stuff with yeah, Lyra herself basically is only here if you're really curious about her. Yeah, so Lyra has been focused on issue 32. At the 51 is her last appearance in this book. And then she doesn't fight Namor again in his own title until Saga of the Sub-Mariner number 10, released in the 80s. So, what does she do after these two issues? Well, she pops up Amazing Spider-Man 213 and 14. In one issue, Defenders, pops again for 215. The second of Silver Surfer, Iron number 10, then she pops up in Saga Sub-Mariner. She basically also becomes a recurring character in Namor and the Sub-Mariner series in the 90s. Her last appearance was in Mystic Arena, Sister Grimm. As for the other guy, no, that's not what I want there. Byra, Lord Byra, he himself, after this issue, he doesn't appear again in the Namor comic until Saga the Sub-Mariner number 2 in the 80s. Because his very next appearance is in the pages of Alpha Flight. Yep, that's where he next appears. Yeah. The whole thing with Lara and Bauer, they're only here for a quick two-parter and then they're done this book. Yeah, they are done. We also with the Brotherhood of Badoon. Yes, the Brotherhood of Badoon are aliens. Yeah. A group of aliens from the Silver Surfer comic, and I believe these people were responsible for killing the. I think I remember if I remember correctly, these people were responsible for killing Gamora's people. Yes, that's what was later retconned as. But here's the weird thing about them: they last appeared in Silver Surfer number 2. They next appeared in Defenders 26, the 5th annual for X-Men. And then after that, they appear again at the Silver Surfer Volume 3. And they appear as, like, recurring villains during Donnie Coates' run for the book. Actually, more like Bendis' run. Their last known appearance, Genisville, Captain Marvel #2. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of weird that we have Alien Spear here. And after this, yeah, and basically Namora, we also have Betty Priestess. Betty Priestess is a woman who has been associated with Namor since the debut of Marvel Mystery Comics #3. She is sadly no longer alive. As a matter of fact, we're going to get to her death pretty soon. Now, if you're curious, is this basically her as a reoccurring character? Like, is this comic here her very first appearance in the Bronze? Well, technically, she had appeared in issue 38 and issue 8. She's here very, very briefly. She's here for issues 52, 54, 55, 57. She appears 2 more times after this, and that's it for her. Yep. She appears like 2 more times in this book, and that's it. She doesn't return again after basically 57 until she appears in issue 60. Mm-hmm.
Nikki, you sent your health insurance form. Can't use it in your taxes anymore, okay?
Okay.
Just need your W-2.
Okay.
That, right?
Okay. Anyways, yeah, basically Namor goes to Japan for a while in the next few issues. Now, there's a new character in Dragon Lore. He's only in issues 52, 54, which are also the issues that Sunfire appears in. After this, he appears in Avengers Fender War. Yeah, that was his very next appearance. Right after this very fantastic 3-parter. And then we have in issue 55, we have debut of Torg, the Abominable Snow King. And he appears like one at a time after this issue in Avengers issue 43. So you think if it was like a one-shot character appears once after this, and that is sadly it for him. No, seriously, that's it. 56. Ahab. Yes, an uncontrollable one. Yeah, this is their debut in issue 56, and they pop up in 58, and they appear 2 more times after this. And that is really it. Mm-hmm. It's more like a flashback issue 56. Then 57. It's him versus Ares. We also have the kind of in a way the first modern appearance of the original Venus superhero. Yes, a character. Well, excuse me, a woman associated with Age of Atlas. This is basically her first modern appearance. Her first actual appearance was actually in Venus #1 in 1940. This is her first modern appearance. Yeah. This woman claimed to be Venus, but in actuality, she's just basically human who just happened to assume her name. So, in the Age of Atlas book, I believe one of the features, I think it was a feature I read, where she fought the real Venus, and she beat the real Venus. So Venus, as a thank you, decided to make out with her and give her her sash and walk away, never heard from again. No, seriously, that's what happened with her. Yeah, this actually was her first appearance since Venus #19. And after this one issue, she later pops up in Champions. No, seriously, it's in Champions like right after this issue. Because, of course, dealing with Ares, the god of war. Mm-hmm. Yep, and then we deal with a woman named Tamora in issue number 58. Yeah, very seductive woman, and she basically comes in here as a new character for pretty much the rest of the series, for pretty much almost the rest of this run, except for the last few issues. Mm-hmm. Is she like a villain? Yeah, she basically just hangs out in this book for the remainder of the series. Yeah, and of course, Namor has to deal with Thor in issue number 15. I deal with Lavix, and in 60, so deal with Lorvax. Lorvax is a like giant of a being. He's only here just for a few issues, and like after this 3 issues here, after 60, he's never seen again. This was his last appearance in the comic. Yep. Pretty good set of issues. Nothing bad here per se. We got 2 future members. We had 2 future members, 2 future teams. One in the late period 90s, the other for the 2000s. Pretty good, but we're getting close to wrapping up the series with this one. Yep. I'm gonna give this book here I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, we have basically a run for Silver Surfer, which for some reason is when Silver Surfer was counted as part of his special issue 200. This miniseries was not counted for some reason. They counted Volume 1, they counted the one shot this Volume 2, the 3rd volume, the 4th volume. This is technically Volume 5, the volume that preceded Dan Slott's run. This came out in 2011, and it's only, if you're curious, it's only 5 issues. I think it's 5, correct? Yeah, it's only 5 issues. It's mostly this is basically, think of it as basically what Silver Surfer was up to prior to his appearance in The Mighty Thor by Matt Fraction. This takes place just prior to that. The biggest thing to take away from this book is something that Dan Slott does build upon, is that the Silver Surfer can actually develops an ability to turn himself back to Norman Rand without the silver look. Yeah, he actually can do that now. Yeah, this book basically establishes that. And of course deals with the High Evolutionary. And I appreciate Greg Pak wrote this book after he did write. In case you're curious though, does he have experience writing Silver Surfer? Yes. Yes, he does. He actually wrote it as a brief cameo in World War Hulk. Yep. We also have a guest appearance in this book by Cyber Macer. Yes, a character originally from Forceworks. Yeah, and she's here as she's here for as a supporting character in this book. Yeah, because the only book she appears in this period of time is Iron Man 2.0, and this is just after they did the War Machine comic, where she appears both books at the same time, and that was it. That's literally all. Here's the strange thing about this woman. She appears in Forceworks, deals with basically appearance in issue 170, which I believe is just part of the Hands the Mandarin stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so appears in Civil War number 8, which was the next appearance after the issue. Then she appears as a recurring character in War Machine Volume 2, and this book is Iron Man 2.0. Yeah. The reason why she's here because our organization knows organization known as Organization of American States, where just Susie is basically the member, and it's only here for 1 issue, but Galactus is here obviously, and I do appreciate though the fact that they do this with this character, the fact that they establish something for him. Now, Cyberman has become secret in this series. We also first appearance of Haruko Delevatine. Yes, a guy who was briefly transformed by the cosmic stuff, and then he just gets it back. Yeah, it's let's have Norman Rand become human for a few issues. And by the way, they keep this in the very next book. We also appearance here about the Future Foundation. Yeah, you think, we have Reed, Ben, Sue, Human Torch. This must be Fantastic Four. Nope, this is the Future Foundation. If you're curious, this is a loose tie-in to what was going on in the Fantastic Four comics at this point in time, because Jonathan Hickman, actually, Human Torch is not here because this is the point in time where he's still dead. Yeah, he's still dead. Spider-Man's here, as felt the 4-person team Fantastic Four. Yeah, the reason why this is because I think it was issue 557, I think it was, where basically Human Torch was supposedly killed, and they later had a funeral for him, and then they have 558, which was presumed to be the final issue of the series, and the book was relaunched as FF. And it ran that way for 11 issues. They brought back Fantastic Four issue 600, and of course they kept the FF title going for about 12 more issues before they had to restart the book at issue 23. Under Red Fraction, which lasted for 11 issues. And that was it for FF until they had the short-lived Future Foundation book, which they got quickly canceled to 5 issues due to low sales. Fantastic Four at that point was still written by Jonathan Hickman. The relaunch was done by Matt Fraction until he had to leave due to reasons and basically have the book be ghostwritten by somebody else. Marvel claimed it was this guy, but it's actually a different guy writing for remaining Fantastic Four and Future Foundation. But this Silver Surfer book is fantastic. If you're curious, like, is there a title for this storyline? Because you can't simply just call it Silver Surfer by Greg Pak. If you're really curious, the name of the trade that collects these issues I'm trying to find it here. It's called Silver Surfer Devolution. Yep. That's the name of it. That's literally the name of the book. Yep. This book is really, really good, and I kind of wish Marvel would included this part of the numbering for Fantastic Four, for Silver Surfer when you reach 200, but they didn't. Nope, they didn't care. But this book is great. I'm gonna give the book a 10 out of 10. The book is that damn good, and it's important to Silver Surfer mythology, and I do not know why Marvel didn't include it for. So, okay, so I got Greg Pak's run, so I just reviewed this. Okay, what's up with Silver Surfer? The Dan Slott volumes. But here's the thing. I'm not starting with volume 1. Nope. I'm actually starting with volume 2. Why, you might ask? Because of our review volume already. Yeah, basically, in a way, there is about 4 trades worth of issues to review for Silver Surfer. And that's literally it for him. Once Silver Surfer is done, either I have not decided what's replacing him, but the next Comic Corner I am going to be revealing what's replacing this book because I've already set it up already. So, yeah. So, this is going to be pretty much it for this particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, until the next video, which is my Comic Corner. Bye.